Hi, my name is Bethany, and today I want to talk to you about the concept of society gaslighting autistic people. Thank you so much to one of my patrons for specially requesting this video. So according to the handy-dandy Google dictionary, gaslight is to manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. While this word is more often accurately used to describe a very in-depth, twisted, manipulative and abusive kind of thing that someone does to someone else in a relationship, it has been adopted for somewhat broader meanings or situations such as this one. So how could society be gaslighting autistic people? Now, first of all, I believe this would primarily apply to autistic people who have lower support needs or who are better at like masking and stuff like that. I don't personally feel that society or other people or whatever are actually trying to gaslight autistic people. That they often do because of their own discomfort and failure to assimilate the concept of a low needs autistic person into their definition of what is autistic. For example, an autistic person might find it painful or difficult to look into someone's eyes. Should they express that this is very unnatural, difficult, hard for them, a lot of times people will inform them that it simply doesn't and just brush it off. Here, the experience of the autistic person is denied. Because the non-autistic person does not experience this, and the low needs autistic person or the autistic person that they are looking at seems to be more like them than not, the person defaults to just denying or rejecting the idea or the experience or perception that the autistic person is trying to tell them they're having. This rejection of the autistic person's perceptions and experiences is the core of the concept of autistic people being gaslighted by society. More accurately, their experiences are being denied, rejected, and ignored. In some cases, this can get to the point where the autistic person wonders if they are making things up or imagining things, or they might get pushed to a place of learned helplessness where they no longer try to reach out and no longer try to ask for help because people have constantly told them that what they're experiencing isn't real. As I've spoken on before, it is difficult for the average person to accept that there is a place between like non-autistic and severely high needs autistic, level 3, etc. So our brains kind of make up these concepts where we can either adapt information to fit into a concept and kind of fit into that kind of category. We can change that category or concept to accept new information. We can make a new category or concept for that information, or we can just reject that information altogether because it doesn't fit. Most reject the idea of a low support needs autistic individual because in their brain they have fit the person into a neurotypical box where they feel like that's kind of like where they belong and that's how they can relate to them and understand them, so that means that they can't be in the autistic box, if that makes sense. So this unintentional gaslighting or denying of someone's experience often leads autistic people to start using this on themselves. Everyone has told them that they don't really experience what they experience, so they might try to start convincing themselves that it's all in their head. They shouldn't feel this, experience this, react this way, etc. Oftentimes this can compound the distress the autistic individual is experiencing, especially undiagnosed autistic people, because not only do they not have a reason to point to, the people around them also don't, so there's just no reference point for anyone to try to explain why someone might be experiencing these kinds of things. It is difficult for an autistic person, especially one without a diagnosis, to explain to the average person that they are different. Different how? How can one even put this into words for you to comprehend? We all get nervous. We all tap our fingers. We all hate really loud sounds. Yes, but not like this. And when the autistic person tries to explain by way of like sharing an experience, they often get brushed off. Oh, that's nothing. Everyone deals with that. Or yeah, but it wasn't that bad. Or no, it didn't. All the same, the autistic person is experiencing things differently, is having difficulties, is in need of support and understanding, and often is trying to become an idea of a person that they can never be because they are autistic. In my experience, I got to the point where I was beginning to get scared because I knew something was wrong. Somehow my reality and others didn't match up. There was no reason. I was book smart, did well in school. Sometimes I just lost it. A lot of times I lost it. I lost my ability to handle social situations. I felt the world spinning. I literally would be spinning. Sometimes I would throw my body against the wall. What is going on? And yet many around me were adamant that nothing was going on. I was overreacting. I was dramatic. I was overbearing. I was lazy. I was too sensitive. But most certainly not autistic. Autism is not the only disorder or condition that experiences this. Anxiety and depression are easy things to point to as things that people don't quite understand are very different from sometimes being sad or sometimes feeling nervous. Because it does not fit their experience, they assume that it's not real or that you are somehow deficient in expressing your distress. It's interesting because people reject this information because it doesn't fit their reality, which leads to the autistic person questioning their own reality because other people couldn't bother doing that for themselves. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just a side effect of being human. Unfortunate as it is, most people are not being malicious. They just don't know how to deal with something they don't understand or comprehend or experience for themselves. The thing is, this is extremely dangerous if left unchecked, especially in an undiagnosed autistic person. Going through life, knowing you're different, but not being able to put it into words to try to explain. And when you can, being told that that's not real or that's not true, etc., can really do serious damage over time. It's like your existence isn't real. Even just in my teens and my early 20s, I remember saying that. I guess I'm not real then. I'm not real. I don't exist. That's what it feels like for people to gaslight you in regards to undiagnosed autism. Autistic individuals often deal with anxiety and depression. They're commonly comorbid with ASD. This is not a great mix with thoughts like, I don't exist, because that cognitive dissonance might make someone want to make all of those things stop. Others don't mind so much and retreat into their own world, and they've already decided that other people are absurd. So of course they're gonna think what I experience isn't real. Obviously this is better than the end result that could happen in the before route or example, but this can lead to a very isolated existence, somewhat honestly detached from reality and connection with others. This is why spreading awareness and acceptance around autism is so important. When we make rooms in our brains to accept the possibility that others may experience these things and aren't lying and being overdramatic, we lessen the likelihood of accidentally contributing to the mass gaslighting that they could be experiencing in their life. With more information and more people speaking about their experiences, more people may realize that there are other people out there who do feel the way that they do and experience the same or similar things that they do, and can find an answer to what can seem like insanity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was useful or helpful in some way. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. hopefully this was what you were looking for when you suggested this regarding this topic. If not, I apologize. Also, I do upload every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to this channel with autism-related content, so if you're interested in that, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me over on Patreon. And a special thank you to my Spaz tier patrons, Brian Kleinhammer and Jesse Graves. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful week, and see me in my next video. Bye!